The fans were out in force last night as the BP Ultimate Rally Raid Portugal held a special autograph session at the Grand de la Bivouac. A fantastic opportunity for the rally-mad locals to meet their heroes. Well, yesterday also saw some intense strategic discussions as the top bikers chose their starting positions for today's first stage.
Luciano, ¿qué posición quieres para partir mañana?
Primera.
Luciano Benavides escolhe o primeiro. First place for Luciano. What's your position for tomorrow?
We're gonna start first.
Primeira posição é a escolha do Ross, naturalmente. Segunda posição é a escolha do Adrian Van Beveren.
Vou elegir segundo.
Segunda posição, third for Edgar Canet. Daniel, it's easy or not?
I think it's easy. We'll go number 3.
Terceira posição, então para o Daniel Sanders.
So Ross Branch would be first out of the gate after his hero team decided to open. The riders set to cover a shade over 300 kilometres, finishing with a reverse run of yesterday's prologue. And Branch was very happy with his effort as he finished in 4th place.
We needed to go out and stay out of the dust, which worked well, and then obviously we needed to go and get some confidence from leading out and just for hopefully being in that position in Dakar. So super happy to be here in one piece, and yeah, looking forward to a great week of racing here.
The last of the 10 RallyGP riders to set off today was Lorenzo Santolino. The Spaniard says the Sherco has improved since the Dakar, where he finished 18th overall, but they still have some work to do if they want to close the gap to the top factory teams. Santolino coming in ahead of his teammate Bradley Cox today, 8th in class. It was a good stage for Adrian Van Beveren, even if it took him a while to overtake the Spanish newcomer Alfredo Pellicer. The Frenchman, the quickest of the factory Hondas, in 2nd place. He pointed out that the conditions here are completely different from last year with the rain and the mud. The recent dry spell has made the tracks very slippery indeed. Once again though, it was Daniel Sanders setting the pace on the KTM, surging to his 13th win of the season. The team have decided to go with motocross-style tyres rather than the normal rally ones, and so far the gamble is paying off. The Australian recovering from a small mistake about halfway through to win by just under a minute. Well, so far we haven't seen any chinks in that orange and blue armour.
It's always good to start back on the first stage and get into the rhythm, and yeah, hopefully we're out opening tomorrow, and yeah, I like it out front because it's just me to worry about the road book, and then hopefully the pace comes out tomorrow.
Sanders holding off the Honda pair of Van Beveren and Tosha Schreiner to make it 2 wins in as many days. His teammates Luciano Benavides rounded out the top 5. With the prologue times included, Sanders now leads Van Beveren by 1 minute and 11 seconds. It looked like it was going to be a special day for Martin Ventura in Rally 2 until he ran into trouble late on. The Portuguese ace was topping the timesheets at kilometre 2:31, but a clutch issue cost him almost an hour. The new Honda HRC rider won the prestigious Baja Porto Alegre last year on his way to the national Baja's title, so he's definitely one to watch. With Ventura fading, the Rally 2 win went to Edgar Canet, who was 6th fastest overall. The young Spaniard said you had to be careful with how the dust affects the bike, notably the brakes, but he was happy with a smooth day. No navigation mistakes and not far behind the top guns. He now leads the class by almost 3 minutes. Tobias Ebster secured 2nd place today for Hero, followed by Mike Doherty, Bruno Santos and Preston Campbell. The top 5 on the day are also the top 5 overall, with Canet 2 minutes and 58 seconds clear of Ebster. There was late drama in the Rally 3 class, with prologue winner Thomas Zoldos pouncing late to win the stage. The Frenchman overhauled the defending champion Gonzalo Amaral, who led for most of the day but wasn't helped by a 1-minute speeding penalty. In the end, Zoldos won it by 1:26 with Italy's Carlo Cabini in third. There's already more than half an hour separating the top 5. Gaëtan Martinez took the honours in the quads. The Frenchman enjoyed the variety of tracks today, coming home 1 minute and 16 seconds clear of his teammate Antanas Kanopkinas. Once again, we are set for a head-to-head battle between the CF Motor Thunder racing duo as they go for the World Cup crown. Marek Woy was forced out of today's special, while Alexei Varanya is over half an hour back. The top 10 car drivers also chose their starting positions last night, trying to find the balance between having some lines to follow but not getting stuck in the dust.
Sexta posição é a escolha. Quarta posição, number 4. Número 4, position 4 para Nasser al-Attiyah.
Shortly before 10 o'clock this morning, they gathered at the start line, a chance to catch up before any last-minute checks. And then game faces on, because this was going to be a tough one. Anytime, Carlos. Well, Carlos Sainz was the first to go after finishing dead last in yesterday's prologue, and predictably, the rally legend ran into a bit of trouble. He lost time opening and also shipped a couple of minutes due to a puncture, so, in his own words, it wasn't a good day. The silver lining is that the new Ford Raptor T1 Plus is feeling good. Well, Nasser al-Attiyah also had a rather topsy-turvy outing, saying the setup was all wrong and his Dacia Sandrider a bit too stiff for his liking. The Qatari also lost the rear cover, and if that wasn't enough, he was later handed 3 minutes and 20 seconds of penalties for a jump start and speeding. But, as he acknowledged, it could have been worse.
We lose the back, and also this one it was completely loose from the wire, and because this was very narrow, and yeah, we are really lucky.
While Nasser got away with it today, Seth Quintero certainly did not. The American hotshot was actually leading the special at kilometre 75 after a flying start, but he and co-driver Andy Short were halted in their tracks by a broken disc brake, and that would cost them hours rather than minutes. João Ferreira was third into the stage, but said he would have been better off starting a little further back. He spent a long time stuck in the dust behind the two openers, Sainz and Sebastian Loeb, and he didn't expect the tracks to be so slippery. The result, though, was still pretty decent, just under 2 minutes down in third place. After 302 kilometres against the clock, there was just a single second separating Ferreira from this man, Lucas Moraes. The Brazilian described it as a very intense stage, saying he's not sure he's ever had to change gears so many times in a single day. He feels he's lacking a little bit of race sharpness, but still finished the day in second. Out front, though, by almost 2 minutes, was Moraes' teammate, Henk Lategan. The South African is in unfamiliar terrain here in Portugal, so he said it was quite nerve-wracking at the start, especially with all the blind crests. However, he and co-driver Brett Cummings grew into the stage and they eventually powered their way to victory. Not bad for two guys who only did their first race in Europe a week ago.
I must say I really enjoyed myself in the car. We started to have a bit of fun, and I mean that's what we're here for, right? So yeah, we had a nice day in the car, really good day. I think it's impossible to have a clean day around here, and especially the way the stages are. So one or two small things, but in general, not a bad day.
Well, Lategan now leads the rally by 1 minute and 51 seconds from Moraes, with al-attiyah slipping down to 8th place after his penalties. There was a great scrap for today's victory in the Challenger class, with Charles Munster narrowly missing out by just 30 seconds. The man from Luxembourg is pretty new to Rally Raid, but on his first start in a Taurus T3 Max back in July, he won Baja Aragon, so suffice it to say that he is a fast learner. Today, though, he was outfoxed by Matthias Ekstrom, a man with no shortage of experience. The 4-time winner of the Race of Champions taking his 12th W2RC stage victory. With Ford M Sport only entering one car in Portugal, the Swede is back in the Can-Am that he developed with his own team, EKS, and he's off to the perfect start.
It's great to win anything. I mean, I like to do good, and today we had a good stage, and I was struggling a bit in the middle with my head, but in the end managed to pull off the win. So we are very happy with that and look forward for tomorrow.
Ekstrom half a minute clear of Munster, with yesterday's prologue winner Gonzalo Guerrero completing the day's podium. Alexander Pinto had a solid day in the SSVs, even if he didn't quite do enough to land the stage victory, the Portuguese driver coming in second. He and co-driver Bernardo Oliveira were the leading pair in the W2RC though, and with plenty of local support, they're determined to increase their overall lead during this home leg.
It feels good. So many friends around the track today. It was crazy. We saw so many people, and it's good to race at home. But it's something that we're looking forward to come to Portugal and try to score the most amount of points possible.
Well, victory went to another Portuguese driver, Luís Portela. As well as completing the Dakar a few years ago, he once played for the national rugby team. And he is clearly delighted to be throwing himself into this SSV scrum. He and co-driver David Megre, another former rugby player, converting their first try of the rally. There are Portuguese crews everywhere you look in the T4s. Portela leads Pinto by 1.5 minutes.